Alright, let's get right to this. I got no spin knives and I got some rotational knives. We'll quickly get into the rotational because I'm more of a no spin thrower. I'm slowly getting into rotational. I'm going to have better of a collection and I'll be doing more teaching points once I get better at that. I wanted to get a little bit of time in before I did one of these videos so that I knew what I was talking about and didn't sound like I knew what I was talking about. When it comes to rotational throwing, I have four basic sizes really. I don't have all the shapes and different style of knives to show you, but I definitely have a little bit to get you started. So they can work for rotation. People like a little bigger to grip, hammer grip. They're going to have a little bit more to them, rotational knives. So you can get a hammer grip a lot easier on a knife this size than you're going to have a knife this size. So you're going to have a hammer grip for rotation, full spins, and obviously it starts a full spin because, 360. So you start there. You're going to have half spins if you start here, and you can have 1.5 spins if you go further back, and you get a whole rotation and a half. So you can grip the blade like a hammer, thicker blade, easier to grip. You can put it sideways. Thicker knives like this aren't going to work as good putting it sideways, so that's why it's gripped like this. But you can throw your knife that way if you like it better. But for a knife this size, people are going to throw it like this. More of a hammer style. You can put your thumb up, and I believe that's when you start calling it military grip. You can control the knife spin by putting your thumb, and it's going to slide out of your hand. And where you're holding your knife will be which distance you're at. So up close, and as you go further back, your hand gradually will go up the knife. So with other sizes, as I mentioned, people are going to grip it this way. You can also grip it with that thumb out. Knives that get a little smaller like this even have little grooves in the handle so that you can put your thumb at the distance you're at. So this can help you out. It was designed by John Bailey. Yes, John Bailey the Zeal. It's a common one I see out there because you can get it on Amazon. It's not going to hurt your bank, and it's going to get you started very well. Not going to pick up bad habits with a knife like this. And the steel holds up pretty well too. Again, you got that little groove in the blade. Feels really comfortable when you're doing grips like this with your thumb on top of the blade. Again, you can have it this way, thumb on top of the blade sideways, and have your fingers in those grooves gripping it. It's really nice. Those styles you'll see out there. When you get into a knife with a scale, a little thicker grip, again, hammer grip, a lot more comfort with a knife like this. I like that. It's the Bootlegger by Joshua Shugart. And again, you can put your thumb up there to control. It's going to slow down your rotation having your thumb up. Basically, having your thumb down here, when you're closer, you're going to be able to throw it a lot easier. And a blade like this, it has a sharp edge. This is what can kind of explain the military grip a lot easier. Calling it military warfare, you're going to grab a sharp knife, your dagger, your boot knife, they're all sharp. So this is a way to keep the blade away from hurting you. And you can still get a lot of power, enough to kill, enough to do what you need it to do. And you just slide up the distance. Your thumb goes up as you go further back. Closer, about 10 feet. My grip right there. I have the whole blade in my hand. I feel really comfortable and it works. So you're not going to do a hammer grip on a sharp knife, right? It's going to cut you, it's going to hurt. I mean, you probably can do it, but it's not going to help. Maybe just for the time. So there you go. And we have an even smaller one. Some people will like a smaller grip to get that release. We call it pinch grip at the bottom. Lighter knives will get a pinch grip rather than a hammer grip. You're going to have to pinch it to get that full rotation. And pinching it down there, that will speed up the rotation. Again, throwing your thumb out, slow the rotation down, give you more control, I think more accuracy in my opinion, than having a hammer grip, but that's my opinion maybe. Just got to train. You just got to train more. So flipping it around for half spins. All right, so there's grips for your rotational knives. Now let's get into no spin. All right, so no spin is my game. It's my jam. So I have a collection here. I started off with a lot of a basic set, basic Vengeance Slim that started me off, but it was known to be a popular design, and it wasn't going to develop any bad habits in my thinking. I didn't want to get something I thought looked cool or was less expensive and develop bad habits training with that knife. So in my collection, I've got some of my favorites here. I got a Stinger. It's got the D2 steel, 8mm thickness. This is a very common no spin shape, very popular around the world. For me, I grip it in my finger like this, like you're ready to shoot, boom, boom, with a fake gun kind of hand. Throw the knife right in there along your index, close it, pinch it with the middle finger and thumb, and there you go. And you just start throwing. Others will like to maybe wrap a finger or the hand, put the knife, more of it in their hand to give them more control over countering the spin. But I do all that with my muscle control. It's just a skill I've developed over training over the years that I've used in knife throwing. So more of a muscle develop. I trained the muscle memory, and I can feel and give the pressure on the knife to make it as easy as possible for me. You want what works for you. So what works for me might not work for you, even though you want it to work for you. Try other people's methods. Do research. Look around, watch videos, see what other people say. And that's what I did before I got to this point. So then you get your top dog, and this one has the Stinger shape, but it also provides you with a flat. So whether you're, I pick up distance. When I pick up distance, I like more of that curve. When I'm up close, more accuracy, trick shots, focusing on power, penetration, I like working with a straight edge. Flies out of my hand a lot faster. My opinion again, but it gives you both options. Others again, this is the Vengeance, same thing as the Stinger. Just good steel, good quality. You're not going to hold back on throwing it. You're going to be able to train without worrying about breaking anything. So get knives that you're not so pretty at first. You might not want to jump into a BMO knife because they look so good. Once you get good at throwing, then you'll be able to throw it and it won't break, won't hurt, won't burr or anything like that. Here's an Angel Fire knife, no spin style. So again, they got the flat, little weight on the front. Some people like that. More common to see a handle heavy no spin, but you can also see it balanced in the center or even front heavy. I have a Fulmina, same idea as the Angel Fire knives. This is very comfortable for no spin. For me at least, my finger reaches my comfortable pinch grip, that little area there, so I can almost launch it off my finger at the end. It's a different style of throwing, but it works in my opinion. Do I prefer it? No, but it works. This knife also offers different shapes at the front. So for rotation or half spin, you can also put your thumb in that groove and throw it very comfortably. You can flip it over and do military half spin a lot with no spin knives. They work very well. They work for rotation, but they're not going to be your rotational knife if you're into competitions. So here's a Drago by DXB. Different shapes again. I was trying them all to see what I liked at the beginning. Same style as the Vengeance at the end, straight here and a curve here, and the Stinger, but it's going to give you a little bit more weight in the front. And this is awesome for hammer grip, for rotation. This type of knife does work well for rotation. You might not use it for competition because there's better knives, but this works very well for rotation. Getting that thumb up there, that hammer grip, whether you're doing half rotations, throw it that way, put it sideways. It works every way you hold it, and I like that about certain knives. And then you get into some custom work by Joshua Shugart. This is the recent Thunker. So you get people adding fullers, different weights, thicknesses that are very thick at the butt end, and it gets thinner as it works towards the blade, handle end, sorry. And just, as you you develop, you might want to try something like this and see where your skills take you. Does this help? Does this improve anything? So this one, you can try other things that didn't work on those knives, might work really well on this knife, and you might be well-rounded with a knife like this after you've trained through the basic styles that are really well, though, very good styles that you might not even want to get away from because they're so good. And then you got another design here by Joshua Shugart, the flat spike. It kind of looks like maybe a take on a Bo Shrukin style. People kind of like put them flat in their hand, and since this is longer than your normal knife, here's a Vengeance, it's going to be about almost 2 inches longer. That's why I think that it'd be more of a style. People throw them flat in their hand like this and can slide it out of their hand. More of a grip like this for no spin. People will launch it out. Just wherever you feel comfortable, pinch it. Wherever you feel comfortable, wrap it. That's kind of the no spin. And this one again works really well for rotation. You want to do underhand, half spins. You could do the same thing for that, for no spin. If you want to go no spin underhand, same thing, just underhand. If you want to go half spin, I use the same grip. I put the finger up there and you go underhand or overhand, it works. You'll notice that. Your thumb can go and help your rotation and the military way, but you can definitely throw your finger this way. People have used the middle finger to counter the rotation, to help their accuracy, to get their flow. Might help them with longer knives, might not help them with shorter knives. So you wanted to try to develop your skills and see where you best fit, but don't limit yourself. And that's why I advise getting some knives. Get one, don't get a set of 3 maybe, get some trials, get some testers, and see what you like, and go from there. Again, this is advice that a lot of people are going to give, very similar advice. These knives don't change often. They're very similar throughout the years, and that's because there's not much to change. When you have a hand and you grip it and you're looking for a desire, you got them already. You got your designs out there, and the ones that work really well, I've placed a few in front of you, and there's others. So definitely look at others and see what they're teaching, because again, what I'm teaching you might not work for you, might help, but someone else might help as well, and that's going to develop you. So that's my little take on grips, on rotation, on no spin, kind of getting a look at it without throwing. And if you guys have any questions, anything like that, let's fire these through the comment thread and get a conversation going, and another video like this comes out and I'll be able to talk about those things, encompass a little bit more of what we've learned together. So I'll take you cha-cha-cha. It's always that ending. You want to have a good sign off and you just don't go it just doesn't flow, doesn't come out right. And that's why you have to memorize those sayings, I guess. I don't do them. Like, comment, subscribe, share, more or less. You have a good one. Take it easy.